if I say that we, ordinary people, can make a huge difference with just one single act? What if I told you that we can save 8% of annual greenhouse gas emissions? What if I told you that we can save up to 70% of the world's water supply every year? And what if I told you that we can save $1 trillion of the world's economy? Believe it or not, all of these questions can become a reality with just one easy action. Stop wasting food. We love food, but as much as we love it, we love wasting it too. Such an irony that we unconsciously often do every day. I've been to a wedding party before, and there were a lot of foods and drinks provided for the guests there, of course. Then I saw this woman with her child. She puts a lot of foods in their plates. It's like they create a mountain of food. However, when they start to eat the food, they didn't even finish half of it. Then the maid came with a big crate where they collected dirty plates. And that's where I saw a whole bunch of uneaten, untouched, and perfectly edible food treated as a trash. I have been interested in the food waste problem for the past few months, and I think this problem is getting more and more serious. The fact that every little thing we do can make a difference urges me to be more careful, and I want my family to pay attention on these matters too. So, today I'd like to encourage you to gradually stop wasting food for the sake of our future. For the past few years, food waste problem is getting out of control. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that globally, almost one-third, or about 1.3 billion tons of food produced for consumption, never gets eaten and wasted every year across the entire supply chain. As a report from the NRDC notes, that is like buying 5 bags of groceries at the store and then just leaving 2 of them at the parking lot every time you shop. This amounts to $1 trillion of wasted or lost food. Such a waste, right? Every year, around 9 million people die from hunger and hunger-related disease. It means around 21,000 people still die every day from hunger and malnutrition. Being hungry means more than just missing a meal. Families who struggle with chronic hunger and malnutrition consistently go without the nutrients their minds and bodies need, which then prevents them from being able to perform their best at work, school, or to improve their lives. Food waste generates 3.3 billion tons of carbon dioxide, which accelerates global climate change. If wasted food was a country, it would be the 3rd largest producer of carbon dioxide in the world, after the US and China. Its large emission footprint not only comes from all the energy needed to ship, process, and produce the food that ends up in the trash, but also from the potent methane fumes that food emits as it decomposes in landfills. So, what can we do to help combat the food waste problem? From changing the consumer behavior to the industrial era, there are actually many ways that can be done to gradually reduce or even stop this food loss. There are ways for us to help at home. We can change our behaviors as a consumer, in which we have to shop and use our food efficiently, which means that we should list our weekly menu and the groceries that we need the most. We have to be smart about our food storage and expiration date, which means we should carefully examine the food's condition so we will not end up throwing our foods. And we have to try to apply reduce, reuse, and recycle plans of our foods For example, we can turn our expired foods into compost for our garden. Several ways to help in a larger scale is we can reduce the industrial era of food processing and join a campaign about food waste problem. Foods and drinks production companies should balance their food production with demand and increase their quality of food processing, storage, and distribution. Food waste campaign also have helped spread awareness of food waste problem in these recent years. Many organizations have begun to realize this problem and now acting and implementing the 3R or reduce, reuse, and recycle concept and executing more localized approaches to waste management. Food Bank of Indonesia, for example, who is a non-profit organization committed to reduce hunger and poverty in Indonesia, distributes a nationwide network of food banks and emergency food to aid people in hunger and poverty. All of us can work together to change the world for the better. Lowering food waste will certainly bring us a lot of benefit. If we successfully reduce or even eliminate the food waste problem, we will save the other 21,000 people from dying of hunger tomorrow. We will save around $750 billion of economic losses, and we will save more than 30% of energy resources like gas and water that is used in food processing and reduce the acceleration of climate change. These are a really huge number of change that can be done with just a simple action. Food waste expert Tristan Stewart also reclaiming that 25% of food waste in the US and Europe could end global malnutrition. It means that just 1/4 of all food waste in these two regions could feed the 795 undernourished people around the world who suffer from hunger. We didn't have to produce more to provide more. We just have to be clever to use and share it properly. So, today I showed you why we need to stop food waste, what we can do to stop it, and how taking part in it can benefit us all. Eliminating food waste can benefit our community, economy, and environment. Now, I encourage you to stop wasting food starting today. We can start to reduce our own personal food waste by buying enough amount of food and managing our food storage in a better way. We can also share our knowledge about food waste problem to others. Start with someone we know the most, such as our family and friends, so they will know the importance to stop wasting food. Then, on a larger scale, we can volunteer with a local food organization such as Food Bank Indonesia, Food Cycle Indonesia, and Garda Pangan, or we can start our own personal campaign to value foods. If we all work together, I'm sure that food waste problem will be reduced greatly and we can save our earth. As Pope Francis has said, throwing away food is like stealing from the table of those who are poor and hungry. So, stop being robbers. Thank you very much.